My wife told me to stop impersonating a flamingo, so I had to put my foot down. Today, I'm going to recap a 2019 action comedy film called The Dude in Me. The film opens with Jong Pon-soo, a distinguished individual preparing to leave his wife for his job. Pon-soo is no ordinary man. He's a dominant mafia lord in town. When he reaches his workplace, he tasks Chul, a trusted subordinate, with a mission at a city factory, bringing some men with him. At this location, Chul confronts Jong-ki, the factory's seemingly feeble owner. Chul's goal is to pressure Jong-ki into signing over his land. Even though Jong-ki resists initially, Chul's gang uses intimidation and violence, forcing him to give in. Delighted with their achievements, Chul's team departs, smiling. Elsewhere during a meal, Pon-soo is unexpectedly visited by Boss Yeon, a fellow mafia associate. Their interaction is tense, revealing a rivalry for the top mafia position, currently occupied by Pon-soo's father-in-law. One day, dining solo at a noodle shop, Pon-soo is joined by a glasses-wearing high schooler, Kim Dong-hyun. After eating, Dong-hyun discovers he's left his wallet, so the proprietor asks Pon-soo to cover his meal. Somewhat irritated, Pon-soo relents. Dong-hyun appreciates this act of kindness from a stranger, and the elderly shopkeeper promises Pon-soo a future gift. Not long after, Dong-hyun, on his school's rooftop, attempting to recover a shoe tossed there by bullies, falls, crashing into Pon-soo below. Both are hospitalized. Miraculously, they survive, but fall into comas. Waking up, Pon-soo is shocked to see he's in a younger body, Dong-hyun's. He discovers that the comatose body beside him, now hosting Dong-hyun's soul, is the son of Jong-ki, the factory owner his team intimidated. Adapting to his new reality, Pon-soo, with Dong-hyun's dad, enter school. His father, now in Dong-hyun's body, inquires about the bullying but receives vague responses. In class, Pon-soo witnesses the regular harassment Dong-hyun faces. He intervenes, protecting a girl, Jung, from tormentors. Later, he's cornered by bullies, but drawing from his mafia experience, he fights back, leaving the bullies defeated and in awe. Later that same day, he stumbled upon the same troublemakers harassing a fellow student in the school restroom and chose to step in. Without hesitation, Pon-soo bravely intervened to shield his classmate, confronting each of the tormentors individually. During this confrontation, he seized a mobile phone from one of the bullies. This phone held damning images and clips showcasing their history of tormenting weaker students. Once in the safety of his home, Pon-soo meticulously combed through the data stored on the bully's phone. He was horrified to find a video that depicted Dong-hyun being brutalized and then plummeting from a rooftop after a push. Intently, Pon-soo committed to memory each face that played a role in this heinous act. The very next day, he took it upon himself to bring the bullies to justice. Methodically, he dealt out punishment, ensuring it was a lesson they'd remember. Motivated by a drive to shield the innocent and deter further atrocities, Pon-soo gave the bullies a clear ultimatum: any further bullying, and he'd hand the incriminating evidence over to law enforcement. Shifting focus, the narrative then delves into Pon-soo's personal affairs. He was a married man, and it soon became clear that his spouse was entangled in an extramarital liaison. To her shock, she found herself face-to-face with Boss Yeon. In this meeting, Boss Yeon sinisterly suggested they unite forces against Pon-soo, aiming to remove him and pave the way for Boss Yeon's rise to the top mafia rank. Feeling trapped and apprehensive about her affair being revealed to her influential father, a figure in the mafia, she hesitantly conspired with Boss Yeon. Concurrently, Chul was enjoying a quiet evening at home when he was startled by an unexpected visitor, Pon-soo, but with a youthful visage mirroring a teenager. Initially, Chul couldn't connect the dots. But as the conversation grew more intense, it dawned on him that the youthful figure was none other than Pon-soo. In a separate instance, Pon-soo encountered an individual named Jung. They began a dialogue, but were suddenly interrupted by the arrival of Jung's mother. This unexpected arrival cut their meeting short, casting a cloud of uncertainty. To Pon-soo's shock, he recognized Jung's mother as Soon, his previous high school sweetheart and his first spouse whom he'd left behind. This revelation stoked suspicions, making him wonder if Hyun-jung could be his daughter from that past relationship. In a heightened emotional state, Pan-soo abruptly tugged at Hyun-jung's hair, contemplating a DNA test to uncover the truth. He enlisted Chul to secure a hair sample for this purpose, and the findings verified Hyun-jung was indeed his biological child. This discovery reignited his dormant paternal feelings. Observing the difficulties Hyun-jung encountered due to lacking a fatherly presence, Pan-soo was consumed with a vengeful urge against her school tormentors. He instructed Chul to incapacitate the legs of the students who had harassed her. Yet Chul resisted, fearing police involvement. Thus, Pan-soo explored alternative ways to embolden his daughter against her tormentors. He arranged for Hyun-jung to attend a fitness facility to master self-defense techniques. Through stringent workouts, Pan-soo and Hyun-jung experienced a physical metamorphosis, evolving from a bulky to a lean physique. With this newfound appearance, Pan-soo became a school sensation, drawing attention comparable to a popular celebrity. One afternoon, post-school, Pan-soo stopped by Hyun-jung's residence, glimpsing pictures of her and feeling a pang of regret for missing her milestones. He discreetly captured images of her with his phone to cherish those moments. Later on, a tense situation unfolded when Dong-hyun's father was cornered in a desolate alley near his residence by ruffians demanding payment. Pan-soo stepped in to defend him. However, unskilled in combat, the father clung to Pan-soo, hampering his defense and rendering him vulnerable. The ensuing day saw Pan-soo directing Chul and his crew to confront the hoodlums at their base, addressing the threat with their combat prowess and sheer aggression. With consistent training alongside her father, Hyun-jung's self-assurance surged, enabling her to confront and deter her bullies. The rapport between Pan-soo and Hyun-jung deepened, with him wholeheartedly embracing his paternal duties, guiding her through life's tribulations. On an impromptu visit to Mi-soon's eatery, Pan-soo observed a male patron behaving inappropriately towards Mi-soon. Without hesitation, he stepped in, reprimanding the man and asserting himself physically. Post this episode, Pan-soo engaged Mi-soon in a conversation, unveiling the bizarre truth. He was her ex-husband's spirit ensnared in a teenager's physique. While Mi-soon initially doubted his claim, a prolonged dialogue convinced her, leading her to vocalize her anguish over his prior desertion. Concurrently, Hyun-jung's school life began looking up as her peers warmed up to her, even extending an invite to a social gathering. At the festivity, Hyun-jung observed Pan-soo's peer being tormented, and concurrently, he got an alarming phone call regarding Hyun-jung being mistreated too. Without delay, Pan-soo hastened to the venue, driving away the bullies to safeguard his daughter and escorting her home unharmed. In a separate incident, Chul disclosed to Pan-soo about his spouse's unfaithfulness and her collusion with boss Jang in a scheme to take him down. Pan-soo implored Chul to brief his mafia head father-in-law about these developments. As events transpired, Hyun-jung started harboring romantic sentiments for Pan-soo, albeit in Dong-hyun's physical form. However, he decisively turned down her affections, cognizant of the intricacy of their predicament. In a subsequent turn of events, while Pan-soo was hospitalized and unconscious, boss Jang hatched a plan to finish him off. Miraculously, Pan-soo awoke right in the nick of time, startling boss Jang and made him faint. Upon returning home, Pan-soo endeavored to bridge the gap with his father, but was met with confusion due to his presence in Dong-hyun's body. In time, he clarified the conundrum to Dong-hyun, and both paid a visit to Mi-soon's residence. Here, a showdown ensued as boss Jang launched another assault, compelling Pan-soo to defend in Dong-hyun's form against the gangsters, resulting in him sustaining serious injuries from boss Jang. Displaying immense courage, Mi-soon deterred the gangsters using a gas cylinder, making them back off. In a subsequent gathering, orchestrated by Pan-soo's father-in-law, the matter of his wife's betrayal and conspiracy with boss Jang was laid bare. The mafia patriarch presented Pan-soo with an ultimatum: to persist in the mafia realm or to exit. Dong-hyun, with Pan-soo's essence within, resonated with Pan-soo's genuine longing to disassociate from the mafia world and to reconcile with Mi-soon. Recognizing the primacy of kinship, he elected to step away from the underworld. However, as Pan-soo was departing the mafia chief's premises, his second wife, in a fit of rage over her exposed deceit, ran him over with her vehicle. Both souls, Pan-soo and Dong-hyun, were promptly hospitalized. Prior to slipping into unconsciousness, Pan-soo expressed regret to Jung for his absence during her formative years. Likewise, Dong-hyun too became unresponsive in the hospital hallway. During his unconscious state, Pan-soo envisioned the elderly lady from the noodle joint he had met prior to the mishap, who counseled him on cherishing his loved ones. Fast forward, Pan-soo emerged from his unconscious state, and half a year later, he embarked on a culinary venture with Mi-soon and Jung by his side. Dong-hyun resumed his academic life, devoid of bullying fears, signaling a serene chapter for all parties concerned. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.